You ever feel like money is just this big, confusing game and nobody ever taught you the rules? Well, today, that all changes. We are going to crack open the young money mindset and give you the simple, straightforward rules to not just play the game, but to actually win it. We're talking earning, saving, and growing your money, starting right now. All right, so let's just jump right in with a huge question. Have you ever looked around and wondered, why do some people just seem to get money? You know who I'm talking about. They're not stressed, they seem to be totally in control, while other people are just constantly struggling, and it doesn't even matter how much they make. So, what's the deal? What is the real difference?
Well, listen, the secret, it's not about being lucky and it's definitely not about being some kind of genius. It's all about building a powerful way of thinking. The book calls it a young money mindset, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to build one together, step by step.
Okay, so our journey really kicks off with the most common money hurdle there is, right? Making that big switch from being a spender to becoming a saver.
So, let's meet our two guides for this adventure. First up, you've got Dave. For Dave, if money comes in, it's going right back out. Poof, gone. Spent on the newest gadget or the latest game. But then you've got Mia. See, she looks at money completely differently. For her, it's a tool, something you use to build toward a bigger goal, like saving up for that awesome 3D printer. Be honest, which one sounds a little more like you right now?
And this right here is Dave's big uh-oh moment. I mean, he's been working hard, right? Doing chores, walking dogs, but when he finally looks at his savings jar, it's basically empty. And you can just feel that sinking feeling he has, asking himself, where did it all go? How is this even possible? This moment, right here, is where everything starts to change. Yeah, that sinking feeling that Dave felt, that's actually where the real change starts. So the question is, how do you actually do it? How do you make that shift from being a Dave to being more like a Mia?
Well, it all starts with step one. You got to figure out how to earn your own cash. So their mentor, Akiko, she lays out this super simple three-step plan. First, find what you love. Seriously, don't just look for any old job. Find something you're passionate about. For Mia, it's bikes. For Dave, it's dogs. Okay, step two, make an action plan. Don't just sit there wishing for it. You have to design it. So Dave actually makes a flyer for his dog walking service. And then step three, and this is the most important one, you have to take action. An idea is totally worthless until you get out there and actually do it.
And I love this little secret tip from the book. Big dreams can feel huge, right? So overwhelming. But think about it like this. Even the tallest mountains are climbed one step at a time. Just breaking it down into smaller pieces, that's the absolute key to just getting started. All right, so now Dave and Mia are starting to earn some cash. Awesome. But they figure out pretty fast that making money is only half the battle. Now they've got to manage it. And this is where we get into the incredible power of budgeting.
This is where Akiko introduces a system that literally changes everything for them. It's called the three jars, or the three pillars, and it is so simple. Every single dollar you earn gets split three ways. A little bit to spend on fun stuff right now, a good chunk to save for your big goals, and a piece to share, for giving back.
And get this, here's the magic ratio they suggest. A full 70% of your money, 70, goes straight towards your big goals. Only 20% is for those little everyday impulse buys like snacks or whatever. And then 10% is set aside for sharing. I mean, just look at that again. This one simple rule automatically forces you to focus on the long game instead of just what you want right now. It's an absolute game changer. So this really breaks the whole strategy down into a simple, easy-to-follow game plan. First, you pick a big, exciting goal, something you really want. Then you set up your jars, your system. You decide on your percentages, and then you track your progress. And all of a sudden, saving isn't some boring chore anymore. It's a game, and it's a game you're trying to win. Okay, so you're earning, you're saving, you're on a roll. Now for the really exciting part. How do you make your money start working for you? That's right, it's time to talk about investing. Now, I know investing can sound super intimidating, but this little cartoon just perfectly breaks it down. Dave at first confuses stocks with socks. And let's be honest, sometimes it really does feel that confusing. So let's just quickly break down what stocks, bonds, and index funds actually are. Okay, I absolutely love this analogy. Think about it.
The stock market is like a giant smoothie menu. Buying one single stock is like picking just one fruit, say mango. You're betting everything on mangoes. What happens if it's a bad year for mangoes? You're out of luck. But an index fund? That's like buying the whole fruit salad. If the mangoes aren't great, who cares? You've still got strawberries, blueberries, and bananas. It spreads out the risk, so you're not putting all your eggs or fruit in one basket.
So it really just boils down to this: owning versus loaning. Simple as that. With stocks, you own a tiny, tiny piece of a company. It's like having one crumb of a giant birthday cake. Now, it's higher risk for sure, but the potential reward is way bigger. With bonds, on the other hand, you're just loaning your money to a company or a government. It's much safer, and they promise to pay you back with a little extra, but the growth is going to be a lot slower.
Look, earning, budgeting, investing, these are all just the tools in your toolbox. But the engine that actually drives everything, that's your mindset. And believe me, this is the most important part of the entire equation. And this is so cool. The book introduces these characters called money monsters. Now, these aren't the monsters hiding under your bed. Nope. They're those little negative voices inside your head that totally sabotage your financial plans. And here they are, the whole crew. You've got fearsome Fred whispering in your ear, you're just gonna mess it all up. Then there's lazy Luke telling you, saving can wait, let's just spend it now. And of course, gloomy Greg, who says, you'll never be rich, so why even bother? The absolute genius of this is giving these negative thoughts a name, because once you can name it, you can spot it, and then you can tell it to get lost. And that really brings us to the core idea of this whole thing. Building a great financial future isn't about one big, heroic decision. It's not about winning the lottery. A true young money mindset is simply the result of all the small, smart choices you make over and over again, day after day. So now the journey is yours. The ball's in your court. Forget about tomorrow, forget about next week. The real question is, what is the first, small, smart money choice that you are going to make today?